Hello, I am in front of my bookshelves right now because I am going to be reorganizing them. Basically, I'll get into it in a second and what I'm thinking, but I'm going to be reorganizing, and I believe I'm going to try to be unhauling as I go. And I just was looking at them, and immediately I think I'm going to unhaul all of my Iris Johansson books. They are in the Eve Duncan files, and I started reading them, but I don't have the first few, so I actually started reading them on my Kindle, and they're all right, but I have no desire to continue with the series. And if I do ever want to pick up another Eve Duncan book, I'll just donate it, or not donate it, I'll borrow it from the library and read it on my Kindle like I have the first few. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books already that I'm gonna unhaul. So this is a good start. Yeah. Okay. I will do that. Oh, and then so right now, hold on. Right now, this is my fantasy shelf and nonfiction up there, but fantasy. And then this is every other fiction. This is organized by author's last name, and this is organized by age group. But as you can kind of see, I've had to do some stacking, and I don't really like the look of stacking horizontally. I like it when they're just straight. So I am going to move my fantasy shelf to this shelf, and then have everything else plus my nonfiction on this shelf, which is going to be a change for me because I pretty much always have my fantasy on this shelf, but I think they'll fit better on this one, so that's what we're going to do. So, these are my favorites, and then obviously I did rainbow order here, and then this is my science fiction and fantasy and mythology. Organized by age group. I love it. And these are all the books I'm getting rid of. The Iris Johansson books are over there. This one I'm gonna give to my brother because he's a Marine and loves history, and I don't care. The Box in the Woods, I really liked the Truly Devious trilogy, but this one was just okay for me. This I got at the dollar store. It's about necromancy, and I don't really care. And I haven't even read Gideon the Ninth, so if I'm gonna read anything necromancy, I'm gonna read that. This one got from the library book sale. It sounded interesting, but there are so many other books that I would rather read, so. Peach Blossom Spring, I almost kept this because it's a really, really, really pretty cover, but it's a historical fiction, and I just don't see myself actually reading it and enjoying it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. This one is my most recent purchase, and honestly, I kind of want to keep it now that I'm looking at it. I might keep it and put it on. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put it just on this bottom shelf. I'm actually gonna keep that one. This is just some free comic that I got. The Bloodshed of the Betrayed is a self-published. I saw it on like TikTok or Instagram, and I got it because it's like angels and demons, very supernatural-esque, and it was okay. another one I got at the dollar store. It's pretty, but I am just never going to read it. So I think it's a short story collection. I don't actually know. Wicked, as much as I love the musical, I've heard that this book is bad, so I'm just not even gonna try it. Another dollar store book. I just don't see myself giving this 5 stars, so I'm just not gonna bother with it. This one I read in it and I liked it, but I don't think I'm going to continue with the series because I read The Land of Stories by the same author and I loved it, but I didn't like this one as much, so I'd rather just reread The Land of Stories. Whew, this one's a big one. This one I tried to read in high school and I didn't finish it. I was reading it literally all year, like all school year long. I was borrowing it from a teacher, never finished it. I saw this at the library book sale and picked it up on a whim, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to try to read this, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And then I have the second and third book in the Dune series. I read the first book of Dune and it took me 3 weeks, I think, which was a long time at the time I was reading. And I tried to read the second one and I got like 16 pages in and then DNF'd. This one I found at a little library in my town. I think it's a historical fiction. It's a spy novel, actually. It is a spy novel and I don't care. This one I also got at a little free library. It's an advanced reader's copy. It's about New York in the 80s and 90s, and I think that if I lived in New York in the 80s and 90s, this would be a really good nostalgia read, but I don't really care, and honestly I picked it up because it's pretty. This last one I got for Christmas. It was a blind date with a book kind of thing. I read Lady Tan's Secret Circle of Women or something like that by this author, and it was fine, but I think it's another historical fiction and I don't typically like those, so yeah, these are the books I'm getting rid of, plus those. And one last look at my bookshelves. Beautiful, wonderful, amazing, perfect. Okay, good night.